Hi students, in this video class I am going to derive the equation for the energy of electron present in a nth orbit of hydrogen or hydrogen-like particle. So you know hydrogen or hydrogen-like particle means they are one electronic system. Okay guys, so now in order to derive the energy of electron present in a nth orbit, so we need the radius equation and next one velocity of the electron equations. Okay, this is an atom guys containing one electron and this is the distance or radius between radius of the orbit containing electron which is moving with the velocity v, and we need to find out energy for this electron. So you know guys, energy is equal to sum of the kinetic energy plus potential energy. So now here we need to find equation for the kinetic energy and next one potential energy of the electron. After that, by substituting them in this equation we can find the total energy of the, or we can get the total energy of the electron present in an atom. So first let us see the kinetic energy of electron. So now we know guys, kinetic energy equation we know that is half mv square. Kinetic energy is equal to half mv square. So now in this we have to write v means guys, in this equation m means mass of the electron and v means velocity of the electron. So now we need to substitute the velocity of electron. This value we have to substitute in this equation. So now first let me take the velocity. So first you take it as equation number 2. This is equation number 1. Velocity is equal to 2 pi ze square 2 by ze square by nh. Now I want v square, so you make it square on both sides, then you will get v square is equal to 4 pi square z square e power 4 by n square and h square. So this value we have to substitute in this one. Therefore kinetic energy is equal to half into, and here m is there, you take m, and instead of v square you need to write this value. So 4 pi square z square e power 4 by n square and h square. So now guys, this equation I want to substitute here radius value. This equation I want to substitute. So here by modifying this I want to substitute r in this equation. So see how I will do it. So now let me modify this equation like this, half into, and let me write 4 pi square z e square, 4 pi square m z e square by n square h square, and rest of the things you write here z e square. This one you can modify like this. So now you take this one as equation number 3, which is equation 3. Now you consider the radius of this orbit. This is the equation for the radius of the orbit. So r is equal to n square h square by 4 pi square m into ze square. Now to take 1 by r. So if you take 1 by r, then it will be reverse guys. You will get 4 pi square m into ze square by n square h square. So now this is equation number 4. Now you substitute this equation number 4 in equation number 3. So it implies kinetic energy of the electron is equal to half into So now you see guys, this one here, this one is equal to 1 by r. So you can take 1 by r. Okay, and rest of the things here you have z square, ze square. Simply in this equation guys, here I have substituted this one. So this is equal to 1 by r. So instead of this I have written 1 by r. So now it will be kinetic energy is equal to ze square by 2r. This is the kinetic energy of the electron present in this atom guys. So next we need to talk about potential energy. So the potential energy of the electron, let me take it as equation number 5. Potential energy of electron. So now there is an equation for the potential energy of electron, that is potential energy is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R. This is the potential energy of electron present in an atom, guys. So now here Q1 Q2 means charges of the nucleus, and next one electron. R means radius, and this is the permittivity factor. So now in Celsius units, guys, this value is equal to 1. So now instead of this you can take 1, and Q1 means Ze, charge of the nucleus, and Q2 means E, charge of the electron, by R, that is the radius of the orbit containing electron. So this one you can write like this, Ze square by R. So guys, here I want to take minus Z. So because whenever electron is present outside of the atom, it has a maximum energy. So that maximum energy is equal to 0. When electron is present outside of the atom, it contains maximum energy. That maximum energy is 0. Now when electron is present inside of the atom, electron is attracted by the nucleus. Means there are some attractive forces. When attractive forces increases, the stability of atom increases. If stability of the atom increases, what about energy? Energy should be decreased. So maximum energy is 0. So then if you say the electron energy is decreases, it means you have to take the negative values for the energy of electron. So here simple thing is, when electron is present inside of the atom, its energy is negative, because outside it has maximum energy, that is 0. So whenever it is present inside of the atom, it must contain a negative energy. So let me take minus here. This term I have multiplied with the negative. This is the potential energy of the electron. Now you can take it as equation number 6. Now equation 5 and 6 substitute in equation number 1. Equation 5 and the next one 6. 5 comma 6 substitute in equation 1. That implies equation that implies energy, total energy of the electron is equal to kinetic energy. What is that? Ze square. Ze square by 2R, and the next one potential energy. So here minus is there, we have to take minus Ze square by R. Ze square by R. Now here guys, Ze square by R is common. Then here the rest one is 1 by 2, and here you will get minus 1. So now here half minus 1 will equal to minus half. So you will get Ze square R minus half. This one you can write like this, minus Ze square by 2R. So now here again we have to substitute the R value. So now before substituting the R value, you modify this equation like this, Ze square by 2 into 1 by R. You write like this. Now 1 by R value we know guys already. 1 by R value is, this is the 1 by R value. This value you substitute here. So now you can get minus Ze square by 2 into minus Ze square by 2 into 1 by R value is this one, 4 pi square m Ze square by n square h square. So now here 2 in this one, 2 times will be cancelled, and you write minus, you see guys, you start with numerical minus 2, and here Z is there, you write 5 square minus 2 pi square, and the next one m is there, you write m z and z square, e square into e square, it will be e power 4 by n square h square. So this is the equation for the energy of electron present in nth orbit. This is the energy of electron present in the nth orbit. So right guys, this energy we can express in different units. So now let us see that. So right guys, this is the energy of electron equation for the energy of electron present in nth orbit of hydrogen or hydrogenite particles. Now I am going to express this in different units. In case of electron volts per atom, joule per atom, and kilojoule per mole, kilocalorie per mole. Okay. So now here guys, in this equation first you see except the Z and next one N. These two are variables. Z means atomic number. Okay, so that is depends upon the atom or the particle. Okay, next one N. N means shell number. Except these two, remaining all are constant terms. Planck's constant, mass of the electron and charge of the charge. That's it. So now here guys, let me separate the variables and constant terms in this equation. So energy is equal to minus 2 pi square m into e power 4 by h square into which one? Yeah, z square by n square. Z square by n square. So now guys, this is the constant value. This is a constant value. Now if you substitute all the constant values in these terms, so you can get a value that is minus 13.6 electron volt per atom into z square by n square. Z square by n square. So this one guys, we can write like this. Overall, let me write here on this. Overall energy is equal to minus 13.6 z square by n square electron volt per atom. Okay, this is the energy of electron in electron volts per atom. Okay, next one, let me express the energy of electron in joule per atom. So now 1 electron volt equal to 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 joules. So now instead of electron volt, either here or here, anyone. So now instead of electron volt, we have to substitute this value. Then you can get energy of electron is equal to minus 13.6 into electron volt value 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 joule per atom into z square by n square. So now if you multiply these terms, you can get a value that is minus 2.18 into 10 power minus 18 joule per atom into z square by n square. So this one you can write simply like this: energy of electron equal to minus 2.18 into 10 power minus 18 z square by n square into joule per atom. This is the energy of electron in joule per atom. This is electron volt per atom and this is joule per atom. So next let us see the energy of electron in kilojoule per mole. So now you take this one guys. First we need to convert the joules into kilojoules. So now we know already kilojoule is equal to, kilo means what? 10 cube and joule. So I want 1 joule equal to how many kilojoules? You have to send the 10 cube on left hand side. Then 1 joule equal to, or simply joule equal to 10 power minus 3 kilojoule. Next this atom I have to change into mole. So we know already 1 mole is equal to 6.022 into 10 power 23 atoms. Okay. So now here I want 1 atom equals to how many moles? Simply you have to send this figure on left hand side. From that, atom is equal to mole by 6.022 into 10 power 23. So now in this equation guys, instead of joule you have to take this figure, and instead of atom you have to consider this one. So now if you write this equation, the energy of electron is equals to minus 2.18 into 10 power minus 18. So instead of joule you can take into 10 power 3 kilojoule. Okay, so by we have atom means this one, mole by 6.022 into 10 power 23. So here we have substituted joule and atom values. Now rest of the things you write into Z square by N square. So now guys, if you simplify all the numericals present in this equation, you can get a value minus 1312 kilojoule per mole. Here you have Z square by N square. So this equation you can write like this also. Energy is equal to 1312 kilo Z square by N square into kilojoule per mole. This is the energy of electron in kilojoule per mole. And the next one, calories per kilocalorie per mole. Okay guys, next let us try to express the energy of electron in kilocalorie per mole. So now first let me write the relation between calories in and joules. 1 calorie is equal to 4.18 joules. Now you multiply both with 10 cube. On both sides multiply with 10 cube. So now 10 cube calories is equal to 4 into 1.8 into 10 cube joules. You know 10 cube means 1 kilo. So kilocalories is equal to 4.18 into 10 cube means kilojoule. Now I want 1 kilojoule means how many kilocalories? So 1 kilojoule is equal to, you send this value on this side, kilocalorie by 4.18. Next one, that's it. You have to substitute kilojoule value. You have to substitute kilojoule value. This one in this equation, instead of kilojoule, you have to substitute this one. Now energy of electron is equal to minus 1312 kilojoule value kilocalorie by 4.18 by mole. So by mole Z square by N square. Z square by N square. So now if you simplify this, you can get 313.6 minus 313.6 kilocalories per mole into Z square by N square. This equation you can write now. Energy is equals to minus 313.6 Z square by N square kilocalorie per mole. So this is the energy of electron in kilocalorie per mole. You see here there are 4 different units for the energy of electron. Electron volt per atom. And the next one, joule per atom. So mostly we will use this one and this one guys. And here kilojoule per mole. And here kilocalorie per mole. Yeah, so right guys, here these are the energies of the electron present in first orbit, second orbit, third orbit up to infinite orbit. So now these energy values we can calculate from the energy equation guys in electron volt per atom. Energy is equal to minus 13.6 Z square by N square electron volt per atom. So we are talking about here one hydrogen atom. So here you can take 1. So it will be electron volt. Okay guys. Now in this one, here you see our side energies of electron in hydrogen atom. In hydrogen atom various orbits are present. Now electron will be present. The energy of electron in the first orbit, energy of electron in the second orbit, energy of electron in the third orbit, we can find by using this equation guys. So in all the orbits when electron is present in respect to orbit, there is no change in the Z value because atomic number of the Z equal to 1 only. So now I want to find the energy of electron when it is in the first orbit. Therefore N value 1. So now you need to substitute these two in this equation. So energy is equal to minus 13.6. Z square means 1 square. N square means 1 square. Electron volt. So energy is equal to minus 13.6 6 electron volt. The energy of electron when it is in the first orbit is equal to minus 13.6 electron volts. Okay. Now if you want to find the energy of electron present in the second orbit, guys, so then we need to take n value 2. In this equation you need to take n value 2. The energy of the electron in the second orbit equal to minus 13.6 z square, means 1 square by n square. N value is 2, so 2 square. So you have to take minus 13.6 by 4 electron volt. Now if you simplify this, you will get a value 3.4, minus 3.4 electron volts. Similarly, we can find energy of electron present in third, fourth, fifth and next one infinite orbit also. So now let us see the energy of electron in the infinite orbit, guys. So now when electron is present in the infinite orbit, you can consider the n value as infinity. So now energy of electron in infinite orbit equal to minus 13.6 1 square by infinity square electron volts. So now it will be infinity square means infinity only. So minus 13.6 by infinity. Something by infinity is equal to 0. So the energy of electron present in the infinite orbit is equal to 0. And next, guys, the energy gaps. The gaps between, one of the postulate of Bohr's atomic model, that is, so as the n value increases, therefore as n value increases, the gap between two successive orbits decreases. Okay. Now the reason for that, the energy differences. Now you see the energy difference between these two guys very high, 10.2 electron volts. The energy difference between these two you can get by doing E2 minus E1. If you do that, you will get this value. So now as n value is increases, these are the n values, orbit numbers increases, you see the energy gap is decreases. That's why the energy is decreases between the two energy levels. Energy decreases, as a result gap also decreases. The gap between the first two orbits very high due to the high energy difference, and the next two orbits decreases, and next two orbits again decreases. So like that, as n value increases, the energy of the gap between the successive orbits goes on decreases. Yeah. So next, guys, the usefulness of Bohr's atomic model or advantages of the Bohr's atomic model. So first, this one explains the stability of atom. Okay, successfully it explains the stability of an atom. So Rutherford's atomic model failed to explain the stability of an atom, but it was successful to explain that. So now here, this theory, this model introduced the stationary orbits, the concept of stationary orbits. So whenever an electron is revolving in this stationary orbit, so this one does not lose the energy. Okay. So in Rutherford's atomic model, he could not explain how electron is revolving without losing the energy. Now for that he told that electron revolving in a particular orbit, that is a stationary orbit. Whenever electron is moving in that, it neither loses the energy nor gain the energy. So there is no chance to fall into the nucleus, and there is no destruction of the atom. So as long as electron revolves in the stationary orbit, so there is no chance to release the or to lose the energy by the electron. And next it explains the line spectrum of hydrogen atom. So line spectrum of hydrogen atom could not be explained by Rutherford's atomic model. So now here, by introducing these stationary orbits, he was successful to explain the formation of line spectrum. So now inside of the atom, hydrogen atom, stationary orbits are there. They have fixed amount of energy. So now when electron is present in this orbit, it contains a fixed energy. And when radiation is exposed, this electron is exposed to the radiation, its energy increases. When energy of the electron increases, So this one attains the higher energy state. Okay. For example, here electron contains 1 electron volt. Now here the energy of this fixed path is, let me take it as 2 electron volts. This one energy is 1 electron volt, and here this energy is 2 electron volts. So now here we are using some radiation on this electron. Now this electron is absorbing the radiation. During the absorption of radiation, 1 extra electron volt this is absorbing. Finally, its energy will be 2 electron volts. After having 2 electron volts, it won't stay in the orbit containing 1 electron volt. It enters the orbit containing the 2 electron volts. Okay. Now, so electron is unable to retain the absorbed energy for a long time with it. Again, it wants to lose that energy. By losing that absorbed energy, and it comes down, de-excites to original state. Again, this electron present in the excited state comes down by emitting the energy. Due to the emission of energy, we will get a spectral lines. Okay, that is the reason for the formation of spectral lines. Next one, guys, it helps to explain the energy of electron. It helps to calculate the energy of electron present in a particular orbit. So energy equation is given. This is the energy equation to find out the energy of electron present in a particular orbit. By substituting the z value, n value, by substituting the constant values here, we can find what is the energy of electron present in a particular orbit. Next, it helps to deduce the Rydberg's equation. So now it helps to deduce the Rydberg's equation. So now let us see how we can deduce the equation, Rydberg equation, from the Bohr's concept. Okay. So now, guys, these all are the constant terms in the energy equation. So now let me take them as this 2 pi square m e power 4 by n square. Let me take this one as RH. The exact value also let me write, that is 2.18 into 10 power minus 18 joules. If you substitute all the values of phi m in the next one charge, the next one, this is h square, Planck's constant, you will get this value, guys. However, let me take these all the constant terms as a constant value RH. You substitute RH here. So energy is equal to RH into z square by n square. So now here we are talking about the hydrogen atom. Therefore, for hydrogen atom, z value how much? For hydrogen atom, z value equal to 1. So here you can take 1. So RH equal to 1 by n square. So now let us consider the two energy levels in the hydrogen atom, which is N1 and this is N2, and energy of the N1 energy level E1 and here E2. Now here the energy gap between these two is delta E. This delta E is equal to energy difference between E2 minus E1. That is E2 minus E1. So now, guys, I want to write the energy equation for the first orbit and next one second orbit. So this one you can write like this. Energy of the first orbit E1 is equal to RH and 1 by, so n value how much here? N1. So by N1 square. Next, energy of the second orbit E2 is equal to RH into 1 by, so second orbit is here N2. So N2 square. Okay, now let me write the delta E. Delta E means what, guys? Energy difference between E2 and E1. It will be E2 minus E1. You write the E2 value. This is the E2 value you write here. So that is RH by n square minus RH by n1 square. This is n2 square. E2 RH by n2 square. E1 RH by n1 square. So now here RH is common. RH is common. So let me take it common. So now continuation, guys. Delta E is equal to RH is common. Then the rest of the things here you have 1 by n2 square, 1 by n2 square. Guys, we have minus. I forgot to write. Minus is there for every expression. Here also minus is there, and here also we have minus, and here also you have minus. So now we are taking, here also we have a minus. Minus is present here, and it will be plus. Minus into minus will be plus. So after taking common RH, you will get like this: 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. 1 by n2 square. Now from the Planck's quantum theory, energy is equal to h nu. Now instead of delta E, you can write the h nu. So h nu is equal to RH into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. Now new value we know, guys. Nu is equal to C by lambda. So you substitute new value in this equation, you can get h into C by lambda RH 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. Now here h and c you bring on right hand side. You send them on right hand side. Then you can get 1 by lambda is equal to RH by suffix. It should be present in suffix. It should be present in the suffix of R. Okay, RH by, you will get HC into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. So now we know RH value, we know Planck's constant value, and we know the velocity of the light. Substitute them. 1 by lambda will be nothing but nu bar, wave number. So nu bar is equal to 1 by lambda is equal to RH value 2.18 into 10 power minus 18 joules. Okay, by Planck's constant 6.626 into 10 power minus 34 joules second, and velocity of light 3 into 10 power 10 centimeter per second. Centimeter per second. Next you have 1 by n1 square. 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. Now if you simplify them, first you see the unit, joule will be cancelled, and here second here per second is there, both will be cancelled. The rest of the units here centimeter in the denominator. If you simplify the numericals, you will get a value 109677. Approximately you can get this value. And in the denominator we have centimeter, then you can write like centimeter inverse. And here the rest of the things 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. This is the Rydberg's equation. So we can deduce this from the Bohr's constant. So this is about advantages of the Bohr's atomic model. Next guys, limitations of Bohr's atomic model. The first limitation, this is only applicable for the one electronic system. So the particle or atom which one contains only one electron, that is known as one electronic system. Examples: hydrogen, helium plus 2, beryllium plus 2. This is not applicable for the multi-electronic system, because we derive the equations for the energy of electron, velocity of electron, and next one radius of the orbit containing one electron. Okay. While calculating them, so just he has considered the attractions between electron and proton only. When an atom or particle contains nucleus and the next one electron, there is only one interaction, that is attraction, attractive force. Now when you consider the multi-electronic system, an atom or some particular particle with 2 electrons, here you have 2 types of interactions. What are they? Attractions between the electron nucleus and repulsions between the 2 electrons. So this theory could not explain about the repulsive forces between the electrons present in the multi-electronic systems. So now this was not applicable for the multi-electronic systems. Multi-electronic systems means it contains more than one electron. Next one, it could not explain fine spectrum of hydrogen. So now we know hydrogen forms line spectrum. That spectral lines when they are observed by using highly resolved spectroscope, each line splits into group of lines. That splitting of group of line, that splitting of a single line into group of lines is known as fine spectrum. For example, you see this is one spectral line in the hydrogen atom. When you see this spectral line by using highly resolved spectroscope, this one is present in the group of lines, which is known as a fine spectrum of hydrogen. And next, you could not explain the Zeeman effect, and next one Stark effect. Zeeman effect means the splitting of spectral lines into group of lines in the presence of magnetic field is known as Zeeman effect. If same thing happens in electric field, which is known as Stark effect. Okay, the splitting of spectral lines into group of lines in the presence of magnetic field, Zeeman effect. In the presence of electric field, it will be Stark effect. Next one, it did not explain the dual nature of electron. Electron contains wave nature also, but here it did not consider that wave nature of the electron. It was explained by de Broglie. Next, it contradicts with the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. So, while explaining this principle, I will explain you how this Bose model contradicts this Heisenberg uncertainty principle. That is also one of the limitations. And guys, this one tells that electron is revolving around the nucleus in two-dimensional manner, but actually electron revolves around the nucleus in three-dimensional manner. Okay, that is also a limitation. Next, it did not explain how this MVR, angular momentum, is equal to the NH by 2 phi.